Hey there, it's been a while since I posted, so today I'm going to do something that's a little off base. And I started this project and I thought maybe it would be helpful for some other people out there because I couldn't find any information on this. This is a HP Pavilion laptop, 15-inch touchscreen. And what I've got issue with is just yesterday this laptop wouldn't come on at all. We tried to start it up, wouldn't come on, so I tested the power supply. Of course, the power supply jack goes in right there. So I tested the power supply, and the power supply was putting out the proper voltage, which is 19.5 volts. Based on the power supply being okay for my initial test, I figured there has to be an internal component on the laptop. So the first thing I had to do was to figure out how to open this laptop. So let me show you how I'm going to do that, and that's really the premise of this video. Is I just wanted to show you how to open this laptop case, because it's different from the other HPs and it's a little difficult to figure out. It took me quite a while to figure out. To start with, I've got a small tool set over here. It's just micro screwdrivers and things like that. I've already started on this project, so I'm going to show you how I got to this point. First of all, there was 3 of these little tiny screws. They're Phillips head screws, and they go right in these little tiny holes right here. So of course I just used a really small Phillips head screwdriver, took out these 3 screws, and then I tried to pry a little bit and it didn't want to move, so I tried to figure out what was going on. Well, it turns out that these little rubber feet, they go over here, they have sticky tabs on them, and when I pried this off, I exposed 2 more screw holes right there, 2 more screws. When I pried this one off, the back side, both of these of course are on the back side, the 2 feet, I found another screw hole right there. Now I also pried these off on the front corners, and there was no screws underneath of there, so I just put the feet back on. I was really careful about prying off these sticky pads because they'll have to go back in place. Now I will say this is a pretty new laptop, so I wanted to be pretty careful just in case I need to send it in for warranty work. So I wanted to make sure everything basically is perfect. That way when I go to put it back together, if I do have to send it in for warranty work, they won't be able to tell that I've gotten it taken apart previously. You may need to take yours apart to find out problems like I'm going to do. Also, I need to retrieve data that's on the hard drive. So my plan with this is to take this case off of the laptop, and I'm going to take the hard drive out of the unit, and I'm going to try to retrieve the data. You may also need to take this off if you want to upgrade your memory, change the hard drive, or fix any internal components. So basically, the first thing you need to do is take out these 3 screws, then take off these 2 sticky pad feet. To do that, I just used a really small flathead screwdriver. Anything really that you can get under the corner of one of these feet. I'll show you that real quick. Anything you can use, like a little micro flathead screwdriver, will work fine. Just get on the corner of one of those feet, start it like that, and then you can just peel it back just like that. As you see, this one has no screw underneath of it. The ones up here do have screw holes. So as I was done, I just fit it right back into place, stuck it on there. After you've got all the screws out, your next step is going to be to open this case. So I started, you can see I've already got a little bit of it open, but I'm going to show you how I did that, because I tried to pry right through here and it wanted to mar it just a little bit. As far as prying goes, if you have to, you can use a micro screwdriver, but you're going to ruin the finish. So I would prefer using something that's plastic. So I got this little tool, and this tool actually is to pull fuses out of an automotive fuse panel. But it's plastic. so I could pry with it and not damage the outside surfaces badly. So what I did is I started right here where the hinge spot is, and I stuck it in just like this, and I just pried it until it popped open at this point. Once it popped open, I wedged it out, and I put a spacer in. In this case, this is just an SD card, and I put the spacer in there to keep it open, just like this. After I did that, I started to run this plastic piece down the edge. I just ran it down the edge until the next one popped, and I ran it down the edge until I could feel the next little clip. And as you can see, about every inch there's a little plastic clip. So I'd run it down the edge till I could feel that, and I would gently pry it until it would pop out. And then I run it down and pry it until it popped out. I kept working my way all the way around this laptop till I got to this point. I kept working my way around this way with the edge. And now at this point, I have not yet opened the laptop fully up, but when I got to this point, I thought it would be helpful to start the video. I wish I would have started ahead of time, but this shows you how to get it accomplished. So as I pry this open a little bit, I can just take the plastic part and I can wedge it down the side. And sometimes you got to try it carefully and slowly, but I just sort of wedged it down, ran it down the edge like this until I got to the next spot. When I got to the next spot with tension like I'm getting to right now, I just sort of pry it a little bit, wedge it a little bit more, pry it and wedge it each way I go until I hear it pop. Then if I want to, I can put a spacer in here to where I get to the next section. And this is just so that little gap doesn't close up on me as I work around the corner. So I'm going to get around the corner. I'm going to work my way down the corner. Since I'm using plastic, it doesn't mar up the case as badly as what a metal one does. This plastic's pretty soft. So I'm almost all the way around now. I tried to start away from these small areas that would be likely to break, like the corners and the plugs. I tried to start on a spot that I could get to easy and then work my way around on a spot that wouldn't want to break so easily. As you can see, I just slide it down. As I get to the edge, it pops. Now I slid it down there. All the clips are now off, so I'm going to gently take a look and see what's inside of here. I have not seen this yet, so I don't know if anything's attached to the top side of it. Doesn't look like there's any wires attached to it, so there we go. We have it completely off. Just going to carefully sit this off to the side. Notice I put down a small towel so I didn't mar the surface at all, even though I'm working on my workbench here that has, I always keep cardboard on the top of my workbench. I still wanted to put a little towel down just so it doesn't mar it up. So one thing I wanted to note, since I'm using the plastic makeshift tool, that I don't know how well you can see this or not, but the edges of this, all the clips are still intact, and the edges around here have almost no marring around the outside piece of the cover. So that's what I was looking for, because when I put this back together, I want to make sure that this thing is just perfect when it goes back together. So here we are with the inside of the laptop. So you can see the battery. I can see there's a screw that holds the battery in. There's a drive right there. Here's your memory access slot. So if you need to upgrade your memory, you can do it pretty easily right there. Your fans and all your components, processor board and all that. I'm not really a computer repair expert, but I've repaired some cell phones, many computers, appliances. I mainly fix mechanical stuff, but you know, once you fix something, you can sort of fix it all. So it looks to me like what I'm going to have to do here is take this little clip out to access my hard drive. So that's my plan here. Maybe if you need to change your battery or something like that, you could do it. It looks like if you need to change your battery, there'd be a screw here. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, and you could probably access and change your battery if that's the problem. So hopefully that's really all I wanted to show you in this video, is how to take it off. As for putting it back on, I imagine it's just opposite. We would snap it back here. I would carefully go around and snap each one of these sections. Snap, 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 all the way around the outside till I got it. Opposite of removal. I'd put these screws in. Oh, there's one thing to note. It even lists right here, these screws here, it tells you what size they are. This is a metric 2.5 by 6. So if you happen to lose them or something like that, you can replace them that way. But I tried to keep everything separate. One screw goes on one side, 2 screws go on 2 sides, so that I knew exactly what screws came out of what area. Sometimes they'll be different lengths, so you want to pay attention to stuff like that. So now that we've got this sorted out, hopefully that'll help you. And I know it's not my normal type of post, but keep watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll try to help you out whenever I come through something that's difficult and figure out a solution for it. Thanks for watching.